A couple. So Jason will play. So we told him this morning, had mum and dad on a call, which is pretty special. There'll be probably something on our website shortly. So yeah, the players were pretty excited. So Hugh will play, and then we've got a little bit to work through with what we do with our tools. So we probably won't make that. But yeah, those two are definite. So very exciting for the club.
How did Jason take the news?
Yeah, he's getting a bit teary. Yeah, it means a lot to him. I mean, I think we shouldn't underestimate. I mean, just because he's, the first pick, that there's an expectation that just sort of occurs. I mean, yeah, he's a really down-to-earth, level-headed young man, and very excited. Was really grateful that we had mum and dad on the call, so that was pretty special for him. Gave him some time on his own to chat to them. So, yeah, mum was a bit teary. So Trish was great. Tears of joy. So, and dad was obviously, Fabian was very proud.
You mentioned you had some work to do with the tools.
Yeah.
What goes into that decision-making process now?
Probably have a bit more of a look at it today. If we can, we'll just see what that mixture looks like. See whether or not we're comfortable enough. CJ's fit, so that's not an issue of fitness. It's just more whether or not we think that it'll actually give us an advantage.
Can you play all three?
I think we can. Yeah, I think we can. We've sort of wrestled. Yes, we can. No, we can't. How do you rotate? What happens if you end up with three bigs down the 14? So there's all that combination that you come into it. Can you just play one as a forward? That's probably your other discussion. So, if Charlie Comben was in the mix, you look at that as an alternative. Would you still be considering two other ruckmen with Charlie in the team? So, look, I think it's possible. Whether or not it's practical enough for us, we'll have to get through the next 24 hours and have a debrief.
Oh, sorry, mate.
No.
You guys all good on the COVID front?
Yes.
Yeah.
Touch wood. At the moment, yeah.
Yeah. So how are you approaching all that? It looks like it seems inevitable that clubs are going to be hit at some point.
Yeah, look, I think you just got to be flexible. You just got to make sure that you got some plans in place. It's like anything, I've always not really ever worried about the guys you can't play. It's all about the group that probably you can. So we think we've got pretty good. The high performance medical guys have only got probably 4 or 5 that aren't available. So they've done a terrific job. But yeah, they're ones that'll just pop up. We've just got to work through. And probably make sure that through your emergency group, you've got that coverage, if something happens on match day.
Hey, sort of more broadly, as we all know where you're at, you're sort of building a list. How much gap do you think you've made up from when you first arrived?
Good question. I probably won't know until the next few weeks, I think, Rob, to work out, what improvement we've made in our defence, how strong our contest is, what our stoppage work looks like. So we think we've escalated our training, way beyond where it was last year. I'm not sure I could put a percentage on it, but certainly we feel like we've now got a clearer understanding of what that standard needs to be and be consistent. That's an area that we're travelling. So certainly the first full year we've had our pre-season in place to really get into the detail and to reinforce our game plan, I think has been really positive.
Can you give us an update on Ben and what his situation is, either not necessarily in his health, but how it relates to his football?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is we've just got to make sure his health's right. Then we'll look, then we'll look at his footy once we move through from that. So he's back in with us 2 or 3 days a week, doing a little bit of walking, a little bit of work on the treadmill. So we'll escalate that as we move forward. He'll have a break in April. He's taking the family away for a bit of a break in that period of time. So we're just taking it slow and steady as we go. It's just great to have him back around, have him involved in some of the meetings. He's starting to, feed his way back in through there. He's terrific as far as mentor. We did a lot of work last year with Taran, Jai, Luke, so really enjoys that side. So yeah, we'll just take it as it comes, really. So.
And Jed, he's a fair way off.
Yeah, look, I think so. There's a block of probably, we think, somewhere around 8, 9, 10 weeks worth of work that he's got to do. The boys have been able to get some loads into him, so he'll do sort of 3 week sort of blocks. That last 3 weeks will when we'll start to introduce him back into play. Whether it's a half, 3/4 with Patch and Brown at the VFL. So we'll work our way through that. But yeah, so far so good.
Is Aaron Hall available?
Yeah, so Hawley got through a couple of really big loads previous Saturday, trained fully Friday. no problems. He'll train again today. So we've almost got like 2 full weeks of training into him. So yeah, so he's available.
So without Jed and Ben, you're really going to need perhaps the third, fourth, fifth year guys to really
Step up.
To take some away, don't you?
Yeah, well, they're a big chunk. They're a big backbone of your group, aren't they? You know, the leaders. I think last year, you know, we could all see what we got out of our leaders on a regular basis. I think they did a terrific job. So you can sort of try to bank that fairly much. You know where the first, second year, third year guys are, and we absolutely need that fourth, fifth, sixth year guys to really come to the fore and step up and actually move us forward. So spot on.
How do you feel how the clubs mix up in relation to youth experience? Do you feel this good mix?
It's getting there, yeah. I mean, we had another scoop through the draft this year. So, you know, we're second, third youngest group. But, look, it's not. I don't think it's how many games you play. It's what you learn from each one, you know, and the challenge to continue to grow. We're pretty comfortable with failing, falling over, learn from it and move forward, you know, quickly. I mean, business and sport is littered with plenty of sportsmen and business people that have failed quick and move on and still been successful. So that's in our DNA. That's what we want to do.
Surely it must be a benefit being able to draft someone like Jason and then bring him into the club and hoping that he's able to make that immediate.
Yeah, yes, but I think you shouldn't underestimate our overall collection of what we've done from the draft. You know, Josh Godo, Miller Bergman, Paul Curtis, you know, Jacob Edwards, Jackson Archer. Like we shouldn't just put it all on Jason. Yeah, he's a talent. There's no doubt about that. But crikey, what I've seen out of our other collective of those other 5 guys is very impressive. So that whole group in its totality has been really eye-catching for us as a coaching group.
I know you didn't want a question about it, but do you
Yep.
think team selection should be off limits? I mean, how did you sort of analyse what happened in this season?
Look, it's difficult for me to know the history of that, and it's really difficult, you know, being in Bevo's spot post-game, it's tough, you know, coming off the game, and then I know that Tom's got a role to do. So probably not for me to comment on those things specifically. It's difficult on both sides. So yeah, I probably don't want to comment too much more on that apart from, yeah, I understand both sides of the argument. So, hey, just before I go, just a shout out to Croc and the girls this week, playing our final here at home. So we'd like all our fans and members to come down to 10 Saturday. We wish them all the best. So I'm sure our shin bonus spirit will be on display, and we're sure the girls can get up and get the job done. So come down if you can.